It will turn on you, fool!
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Next Gen Nero back with another game review, man. And today we got a special one for you. This is Ghost of Yōtei. Real brief history, real quick, man. I love Ghost of Tsushima. It was one of my favorite games from the PlayStation 4 generation from Sony. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. The art design still holds up to this day. And you know what? To save you guys some time, I did a video earlier this year leading up to this in anticipation for Yōtei, and it was called "Is Ghost of Tsushima Worth Playing in 2025?" Man, the short answer was yes. I went back, got the platinum after getting my PlayStation 5 Pro, and it just really confirmed all the feelings I had for it since last time I played it on my PS4 Pro a generation ago, damn it, right? It was amazing. I loved it. So I had really high expectations for Yōtei, and I wanted to see if they could capture that lightning in a bottle twice and improve on everything I loved about Tsushima. And guys, I am here and happy to say after 60 hours plus the platinum and full completion, yes, they have improved on every single aspect of Ghost of Tsushima. Everything I loved about that game has been improved in multiple ways, man. So let's get into it. First thing I want to talk about is the graphics, the gameplay, and the art design. This game is stunning. It's right up there with Death Stranding 2 for the prettiest games I played this generation. The art style, the evolution of what they started with Tsushima to now with hardware I played on the PlayStation 5 Pro. So the ray trace global illumination mode with 60 was just absolutely stunning. I had no problems, and it's really refreshing nowadays to buy a game and just have it work day one. 60 hours of gameplay. I ran into no bugs, no crashes. Every now and again I might get a weird animation where I got stuck on the terrain, but I'm trying to go places I knew I shouldn't have been able to go, you know, trying to climb a mountain, but trying to use the mini rocks to get there when it's a clear path I should have took. So I might get stuck in the animation once in the blue moon, but besides that, I had no problems, man. This game is absolutely stunning. I always found myself just taking clip after clip, screenshot after screenshot, man. I got at least 5 gigs worth of just clips and screenshots, man. The game is absolutely beautiful, man. Once again, you have multiple ways you can play. They have a mic mode where they bring the camera in closer. They have the Kurosawa mode, which is the black and white classic samurai film. And they got a music mode too, I'm gonna talk about later when we get to the audio. But overall, man, this game was just stunning, man. The details, the textures was a step up, because even on the PS5 version of Ghost of Tsushima, I always thought the textures left a little bit to be desired. You know, I found things was kind of muddy sometimes, but I ran into none of those problems, man. The textures was absolutely fine. The facial expressions is a big step up too. In my humble opinion. Even the side characters, while they not as detailed as main characters with cutscenes and stuff like that, they are an improvement over the characters that was in Ghost of Tsushima. So man, the graphics was absolutely beautiful, man. Top tier art design, absolutely love that. Always find myself taking screenshots, and you know, the gameplay is a huge step up as well. For me personally, the combat and the gameplay is a step up. You know, Jin had his stances, and here we got multiple weapons. I love using the Yari, which is the stick. You got your dual katanas. You got your you got a plethora of weapons, man. You know, you got your big sword on your back. I forget the name of it. Then you got the weapon with the chain. It's just a great weapon. A great combat system, right? The animations felt good. It didn't feel too repetitive at all. Really open and free to how to play how you want. If you want to main a certain weapon, you can do that. You may struggle more with enemies who are specifically designed to counter that. The same way you can switch through all those weapons to counter whatever enemy you're going at. You know, so if you're going at somebody with a spear, you want to switch to the dual swords and so forth, right? And I found that to be amazing, just like I found the stances to be amazing. But this just felt like it had more variety, because once again, you got multiple weapons. And I thought that was dope. The usual things, you know, chasing the fox dens. You know, if you didn't like that in the first game, you're not going to like it in this game. I personally did. It was just very therapeutic. You know, the side things is therapeutic for the most part. You know, the fox hunts, even the new additions with the wolves dens. I absolutely love the wolves, and I don't know how I almost went through the combat section without mentioning the wolves, man. The wolves are fucking amazing in this game, man. You pretty much go to the dens, you save the wolves, and the wolf got its own skill tree, man. So the wolf will upgrade with you as you do shit with them. So having a wolf on my side was very dope, man. Very cinematic. Like, I loved it. They also got guns that you get in the later part of the game, which I really didn't use too much because, I was cool with my arrow and my usual weapon set. So the combat is a huge step up, man. The art design, beautiful graphics, A1 like I mentioned. So the next thing I want to touch on is the music and the sound design along with the voice acting, and all three of those things I just mentioned is fantastic, man. The sound design is really dope. The world feels and sounds alive, man. The DualSense implementation goes hand in hand, in my opinion, with what you're seeing and what you're hearing. The music was fantastic, man. They got the Watanabe mode. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And somehow I didn't use this until about 55 hours in. My last 5 hours cleaning up the platinum before I rolled credits on the game was just fantastic. I clicked this mode on. The lo-fi music was so good, man. Just so therapeutic, man. Even in going to fights, they got it there too. That was the perfect way to clean up the platinum. And in my humble opinion, if you're gonna go plat this game, when you start getting burned out, which I didn't because the time flew by in this game, but if you do, turn this mode on, listen to some music, and just kick back, relax, and enjoy the environments, man. It is some of the most therapeutic gaming I've had, man. It go hand in hand with the graphics you're seeing on screen, plus the lo-fi music. It's just chef's kiss. I absolutely loved it. If you guys can't tell by now, this is one of my favorite games of the year and this generation from Sony. They absolutely nailed it. I like Sucker Punch a lot. And so the music was fantastic. The combat sounds, the swords, the enemies, the voice acting, everything was very well done. The main protagonist, I really like Atsu. She's great, man. I think I prefer her more than Jin. She kind of got a little swagger to her that Jin was lacking. She's still, revengeful and just focused on this, that, and the third. But she had a little swag to her that I just kind of gravitated towards. And her voice acting in English was very well done. I played this whole game in English. A new playthrough, when I go back and want to play it again, I'm going to do in Japanese native language alongside the black and white. But this game sound good, man, on all aspects. And it felt really good, too, with the DualSense, man. So the voice acting was A1. The sound design was great, and the music was great. Now I want to briefly touch on the story and attention to detail, guys. I don't really do spoilers, so it's your typical revenge story, man. It's nothing groundbreaking. You go through a tragic loss to start the game, which is pretty obvious. If you play Ghost of Tsushima, you kind of can, know where this is going. But the way they handled this revenge tale, I really enjoyed. And you kind of get a good amount of character development along the way. And Atsu shows signs, and I really appreciate the flashbacks, and a lot of these flashbacks is optional. When you go home, you're not forced to have to do these. You can do them a couple times and just move forward with the game until it becomes a point where you have to do it, which I don't remember it being too many times. But I mean, I just thought it was a great story, man. The side stories, I'm gonna be honest, I thought they was kind of lacking with compared to Ghost of Tsushima. I think some of the side tales and side quests in Ghost of Tsushima was a bit better, but I think the main story and pacing of this game was a lot better overall. I really enjoyed it, man. Had a handful of twists and turns that, kind of caught me off guard, and I was like, oh, that's really dope. And don't get me wrong, the side missions in this game is really good as well. It got a good cast of surrounding characters and stuff like that. Maybe it's just because how much I love Tsushima, I just, remember some of those side characters way more, after spending about 60, 70 hours with both games each. It's like I can remember the side characters having more of an impact to me personally in Ghost of Tsushima than I did a Ghost of Yōtei. But that's not to say some of these characters didn't leave an impact on me, because some of them did. You meet some really fun characters. You have some really dark moments and side stories you come across. So all in all, man, it's really dope, man. I really enjoyed the story, man. I highly recommend it. Guys, the very last thing I want to talk about, and before we get into that, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe. It really means a lot. Leave a comment, man. Makes me want to keep pushing out this content. But the last thing I want to talk about is the replayability. And right now, I would say the replayability, guys, is a fat maybe 0. Now, personally, this is one of them games, you know, like if you like big games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and stuff like that, it is a great game. A lot of content here. You get, you know, 60, 70 hours worth of content, depending on your difficulty and how you play it, right? But when it comes to replaying it, it leaves a lot to be desired, and I hope they was going to improve on this from Ghost of Tsushima in some way or aspect. I was hoping that we get some type of new game plus, but the way the story is set up with how you get your weapons and skills throughout the pacing of the story, it makes sense for it not to have a new game plus. But at the bare minimum, I would like for my cosmetics to carry over. You know, I can have to go get the armors and stuff like that, but maybe cosmetically let me have a transmod system. I don't know. I was really hoping that was something they would do, or, you know, even if they would switch it up just a little bit on the new game plus, maybe different dialogue options, different, you know, ways the story went. I just think that'd be really good because, you know, it goes back to the Sony games being one and done. I know this is not a game you're meant to live in for hundreds and hundreds of hours, but I just thought a new game plus would be really good to double that 60 or 50 hours you get from the base game for everyone else who choose to want to go through it again. But that's just me personally. But we do have to account for the Legends mode that is coming out next year, has already been confirmed, and I am extremely excited for that. That is gonna, you know, put the game back in rotation for me. We got to remember they did have some DLC with Tsushima Iki Island, so maybe we'll get some DLC with this as well. But as it stands, after platinum in the game, I'm not sure if I want to go back to it anytime soon, and also I don't have a reason to, you know what I'm saying? But we will next year with the Legends mode. Hopefully we get some DLC, because guys, this is an amazing game, and I probably will replay it in the future. It's just not a reason to replay it right at this moment. It's been your guy Next Gen Nero, man. If you enjoyed this review and video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Did you guys pick up Yōtei? Are you waiting for a sale? Are you skipping it? Did you play it? Did you beat it? Let me know. Peace.